Hi guys, hello. I'm doing another Q&A. This is on photo booth on my laptop, so I don't know how the quality is going to work or if this is going to work out. I filmed the first one, it was 15 minutes long, and I didn't have enough disk storage or whatever on my computer, so it fucking deleted it. So I'm doing it again. I'm doing it on my laptop because I don't have another phone, and I wanted to just so I made an Instagram story, and I said put in questions that you want me to answer, and I just wanted to real time go through the fucking story and click on your questions and just answer them, speed round. Also, I made some chicken Alfredo for lunch. I mean, it's frozen, it's rouse. Yeah, I was looking at my story views, and I have 150,000 followers on Instagram, and 90,000 of you view my stories, which is absurd. I remember when all this started, I was talking to my friend who has 75,000 followers on Instagram, and she was like, oh yeah, good engagement is 3 to 15% on stories and likes and shit like that. I was like, bro, 90,000 of 150,000 of you are viewing my stories. That's absurd. That's obscene. And it makes me feel so much better because I feel like I post a bunch of dumb shit on my Instagram story, and I think it's fun though. I don't want to annoy people and spam people, but I think it's a fun way to interact with people constantly. And the fact that you guys actually want to watch it and view it makes me really happy. And so I wanted to answer more questions. The chicken Alfredo is good. I low-key got sad because I pulled up my photo booth, and there was a picture of me. Ugh, why am I getting emotional right now? There was a picture of me from a few weeks ago, and honestly, I was arguably much happier. And I'm sad to think that things happened that made me sadder recently. But that's just the way life goes, honestly. I'm sorry that I'm eating while filming this. I'll try to stop. But it's the fucking way life goes. You're not going to be riding a high all the time, okay? It ebbs and fucking flows. In order to be happy as fuck, you gotta be sad as fuck sometimes. The happiest people, the most intelligent people, experience such a wide range of emotions. If you're just doing okay the whole time, that's not the point of living. The point of living is to be sad, to be happy, and be everything else in between. I don't give a fuck. But damn, I looked happy in that picture. But do you know what that means? The next time I'm really happy again, I'm going to be even happier than I was in that moment. That's wild. Anyway, first question, let's go! Bink. Bye! Don't ever do that shit. Drugs are so dumb. Tips on dealing with social anxiety. I used to have a lot of social anxiety, but then, I realized that having social anxiety makes you more anxious. And, doing things, being quiet and, not saying anything doesn't alleviate that anxiety. If you have anxiety, you obviously want to cure it. So a lot of the things that anxiety makes you do, or even social anxiety, makes it worse. So just try to do the opposite of what you would do. If you were socially anxious and you would just be quiet or leave the room, don't do that. Don't leave the room and don't be quiet. Try to say one or two things and stay a little bit longer than you would have before. Push yourself. Constantly push yourself. Take pictures of yourself out in public. Wear an outfit that makes you confident. Talk on subjects that you're passionate about. Period. Okay, so. What cartoon character was your sexual awakening? None. I don't know how y'all all have those universal experiences. I did not. How did you get yourself out of the apartment every day? By having jobs, things that kept me accountable, and routine, because I get really unhappy if I don't have a routine. So there's a few marks I have to hit in a day to make me happy. I love to go tan, even though it's fucking horrible for you. I love to go to the gym. I love to be outside. I love working and making money. So if I hit all those marks in one day, I knew I would be happy. And I knew it would help, push away my depression and get me out of the house. So, you have to have things to keep you accountable. Do you spend a lot of your time consuming TikTok or mainly just making your own? I've talked about this. I try to spend the majority of my time just making content. I believe in creating and not consuming. Because, if we're constantly consuming other people's content, we're not producing any original content. I think that's why YouTube died. I think that's why I'm trying to just do a random-ass shit all the time. Because, I don't want to make what other people do. I want to do what makes me happy and videos that make me happy, and they don't need to follow a trend. I think it's fun sometimes to do, a thirst trap trend or whatever. But, it stifles your creativity to be constantly consuming. You're challenging yourself to create better when you're constantly creating, you know? Beep, 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 boop. If you hadn't started your TikTok, what would you be striving to do right now? Pay off my loans and be financially secure. What was your high school experience like? Horrible. I was bullied so bad. I was ostracized. I transferred high schools halfway through. I went to 2 different high schools. I'm only friends with one person from high school, if that says anything to you. Like, I just had such a hard time feeling like I didn't belong or I didn't fit in, and like I always looked different and I always felt out of place, and like I always wondered what was wrong with me and why am I not happy, and why don't I want to be in North Carolina for the rest of my life like everybody else. And nobody ever celebrated my differences ever in my life until I moved to New York. So my high school experience was bad. Are you afraid to ever get canceled? You're lying if you're saying you're not afraid to get canceled. It's human to know that you can fuck up or you have fucked up and that you can be held accountable for it. Period. It's like saying, like, somebody who's in a relationship, are you scared of getting cheated on? Somebody's like, no. Like, the thing is, like, yeah, sure, you can not be scared of getting cheated on, but it's an actual thing. Like, it can happen. You never know. Circumstances change. Like, life hits different. People make mistakes. People do fucked up shit. And it's like, how do you recover from there? It's an actual possibility that anybody can get cheated on. But it's like, you don't stop dating for that reason. You don't stop being yourself. You try to be more accountable. You try to be a better person. But, like, some things happen. And, like, I've made a list in my notes. The question was, what's your ethnicity? I answered that in my last Q&A. I made this tab in my notes when I hit like my first 100K on TikTok, and it's called things you have to be if you don't want to get ruined by the internet. 1, honest. 2, willing to apologize. 3, willing to change. 4, willing to be wrong. 5, willing to share why. 6, willing to share your experiences. 7, willing to listen to critique. 8, willing to acknowledge who you used to be. 9, actively trying to do the right thing. 10, actively educating yourself on what's affecting the masses. And 11, not greedy. And whenever I get in my big fights or there's drama, I try to reread this list and hold myself accountable in that way. I'm scared that this video is going to get too long and my laptop's going to delete it. So wait, I'm going to stop this video and then start it. I'm back. Nothing's changed. I just started a new clip on Photo Booth. Love you, Queen. I love you too. Bing, bing, boom, boom. Biggest goal for 2021. I love you. Your vibe. Killing it. Thank you. Biggest goal is just be happy and healthy. Take care of my parents, pay off my loans, pay my rent. Yeah, that's it, really. What's your biggest inspiration for being authentic? No one, really. Like, I constantly see people, this is shitty to say, but I constantly see people I don't want to be like. I constantly see, like, things in people that I don't like. I hate people who lie. My biggest pet peeve is people who fucking lie. If you lie, get the fuck out of my life. So yeah, that's my biggest inspiration, is I hate liars. Chicken Alfredo! Do you love me? Of course I love you. Do you know how to drive? I do. I get a lot of anger issues with driving, though. How do you get so motivated to work out every day? Routine. I thrive off routine. It's like, so I believe that some people have mindsets that work well with working out, that work well with routine, and some people don't. I always thought I wasn't a creative because I thrived off routine. I'm not good at drawing, I'm not good at painting, but I do know that I like doing abstract things. I like doing jobs that are not the norm. So I do deem myself a creative now because of that. But how I differ from most creative people is I thrive off routine. And working out is part of that routine. And I started working out like 3.5, 4 years ago, and I've never stopped since. It's just something that stuck with me. So with some people it will, with some people it won't. Do you ever get tired of living in New York City? That's like saying, like, do you ever get tired of going to the grocery store? Like, yeah, obviously it's a tax sometimes, but I need it to live. I only know living here. I don't know living anywhere else, so this is the norm to me. There's nothing to get tired of. Like, it's life. How has your mindset evolved over the years / moving to New York City? I've become a lot more tolerant, accepting. It's challenged me in so many ways. I've met so many individuals so different from me. People who are from so many different walks of life, and it's made me so much better. TBH. Like, when I was in North Carolina, and when I went to IU, I was just surrounded by so many kids who were just like me. Like, did the same shit, came from the same areas, are gonna do the same shit. And then moving to New York, nobody's doing the same shit. Everybody's different, and that's one of the scariest things about New York, is like, one of the hardest parts about living here is knowing if you're doing the right thing, knowing if you're on track to do well, or if you're underachieving or overachieving, because everybody's doing a different thing here, and it's like, well, where do I fit in? What should I be doing? Because not one of my friends is doing the same thing. Yeah, some of us are in school, some of us aren't. Some of us are in school and have never had a job. Some of us are in school and working for Vogue. Some of us are running our own brands. Some of us, like, it's fucking wild, bro, and it's like you're constantly comparing yourself, trying to figure out what's normal and what you should be doing, when really none of it's normal. And you don't need to be doing anything you don't want to. I want to hear more about your transition from life to New York City, before New York City to New York City. Maybe I'll do a video on this in depth. It's like hard to answer. What music do you like? I like all music. I put all my playlists in my link tree, so you can tell I have like varied taste. Death Row meal. My mom's beef stew. How much of buzz is it that we all just love you for the fact that you're so cool? How much of a buzz is it that we all just love you for the fact you're so cool? It has me over the fucking moon. You guys are pushing me to be more confident and creative and like sure in myself, and like it's like changing my life. Like sure, I didn't give a fuck before this. I truly don't give a fuck now, because the thing is like I've noticed that just being authentic has been received so well by so many other people that it just pushes me to just do what I want. Like, make a fucking YouTube video on photo booth. That is so janky. I refuse to buy a fucking camera, and I want to just go through this and whatever the fuck. Like, I don't want to make it I mean, this girl reached out to me about doing an intro, and I want to see it, but it's like, I don't want to have to remake trends and conform and, like, whatever. Like, I want people to love me for me, otherwise I won't love myself. So yeah, I'm fucking over the moon about that. Toilet paper preferences. I grew up using one-ply, and I didn't know there was any other toilet paper but one-ply because I went to public school, so it's like, when was I going to use nice toilet paper? And then I started going to my friend's house, and like now, me and my roommate only buy the nice toilet paper. I don't know, apparently my parents like just didn't love us with the one-ply. So yeah, toilet paper preference is anything but one-ply. What was it like to not have social media? It was so hard. It was so fucking hard, because the thing is like, I've had social media since middle school, and like most of my thoughts and memories I can access are from middle school. Like, I don't remember before that. So, like, if majority of my thoughts and memories in life have been on social media, to take it out completely was so jarring, so disruptive to my appearance, the way I thought I looked. Because I would look at pictures of myself and be like, oh, this is a good angle, my body looks like this. And now that I wasn't taking pictures, and I wasn't posting things, I was like, who am I? What do I look like? What is my style? Like, what's my inspiration? When really, like, I had the worst fashion taste possible when I had no social media. I had the worst body image possible when I had no social media. And I was just severely depressed because of it. I don't know why. It was fine at first, but I was like highly restricting my life and the things that made me happy. It's not that social media ever made me unhappy. I just got off of it because I wanted to be different. I wanted to try something different, and it just wasn't for me. Like, when I was younger, when I was in fucking middle school, I'd post like 20 to 30 Snapchat stories a day. And I remember I would get bullied so much for it. People being like, Jory, why do you post so much? Nobody gives a fuck about you. Like, I love posting. It makes me happy. Society made me like hate myself for it. So yeah, that's why I came back. Came back with a fucking purpose. Can we get a full workout routine? I've posted them a million times. Love you, though. Have you ever tried making your own clothes? I'd recommend crochet. I have. I took sewing classes for years. It's just, like, I like creating outfits. I don't like focusing on individual pieces. I guess I like the styling aspect of it. I used to work for a celebrity stylist, and it's, like, I much more enjoy the styling aspect instead of the creating aspect. If you went on a game show, what show would you go on? Love Island. No, but I would lose at that, but also it just seems so fun. I know that I would, like, look crazy on that show, but I don't care. Favorite places to thrift in New York City? Beacons and Stella Dallas. I don't think Stella Dallas is a thrift store, though. I'm fairly new to your account. Did you move to New York City or grow up there? I grew up in New Jersey for 10 years and North Carolina for 8. I moved to New York for college 3 years ago. What is your go-to breakfast? Fruit. Frutas! How did you become so famous without using hashtags? I'm going to start a new video because I'm worried my drive is going to fuck up. Yeah, I've never used a hashtag on a video before. That seems fucking weird. First off, okay. The question is, how did you become so famous without using hashtags? I've only had my account for like 3.5 months now. No, almost 4 months now. Before this, I had like 1,500 followers on Instagram and that's it. And I had like a personal Snapchat. And I decided to come back to social media with a purpose. I was like, I want to make money off this and I don't want to join corporate America. And so I made one video on TikTok like a year ago, like in original Corona or before original Corona, basically just flexing my body like a thirst trap. And I got like 20,000 views. And I was like, oh, I peaked, I plateaued, I deleted the app and never got back on it again. So I was like, oh, that was my claim to fame. And I thought I was like this shit because of that. And then I deleted all social media. I didn't have hashtags in that video either. I just think hashtags are dumb. And then I didn't have social media and I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to attack this with a purpose. I'm going to use my TikTok to promote my Depop and like make money and like promote my account. And like, I'm going to say, try to get a following to leverage to get a real people job, like at a marketing firm or something like that. And so I thought about the algorithm. and I thought about creating content, and there's all these gym influencers and shit. It's like you can only grow so big when you're a gym influencer. You can only grow so big when you're a food account. TikTok exists in circles in my mind. There's the people who watch all the food videos, and there's the people who watch all the fashion videos, and then there's subsections inside of fashion. There's the short girl fashion videos, there's the tall girl fashion girl videos, there's the hippie fashion girls, there's Shein fashion girls. So it's like, if you want to be a fashion influencer, try to make as much varied fashion content as possible. If you want to be a food influencer, make every cuisine of food, talk about the history of food, then, okay, so you're making every cuisine of food. You're hitting all the food people. But then there's this subsection of people who are interested in history. What if you start talking about the history of food? You're slowly infiltrating into these other circles. You're cross-pollinating your content, and you're exposing yourself to new circles. In my mind, my biggest fear was pigeonholing. It was making fitness videos, it was making running videos, and that being all people wanted from me. So I was constantly producing the most whacked out content that was just different and not targeted towards anything, because I want to touch every fucking circle. And it's crazy because I have, say, pigeonholed myself, because like 90% of my followers are girls. So like I pigeon myself to women. I'll take that. That's a huge percentage of people. But I refuse to pigeonhole myself into fitness, fashion, New York City content, I don't know, food, whatever. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I feel like. And I'm going to saturate the algorithm as much as possible so that my videos hit on as many people's pages as possible. That's my mindset. Like, some people develop brands in their niche, and I think that is the most counterintuitive thing ever. Because if you want to get big from this and make a lot of money off of it or whatever, you want to be able to have people who love you for everything. Like, people buy Emma Chamberlain's coffee not because she's some coffee connoisseur, because she's a girl who loves coffee and, like, grew up showing that. She didn't go to school for coffee or business or marketing. It's like, I want people to, like, trust my word and trust my judgment and know that, like, my dad's calling me. Hi, Dad. I'm in the middle of making a YouTube video. Can I call you back?
Yeah, no problem. I just was curious about your taxes, if you got a refund. I'll talk to you later.
I did get a refund, but can I talk to you later?
Yeah, sure. Take it
Bye,
easy.
bye. Hey, my dad did my taxes for me. I'm a taxes baby. I don't know if I could say that. He didn't do my taxes for me. I take that back. Yeah, like, I want people to trust my word and trust that, like, I'm a human. I don't know everything, but I do everything. So why would you just watch my fashion videos? Why would you just watch my running videos? I want you to just watch for me, period. So yeah, I think I became so famous because I didn't pigeonhole myself, and I cross-pollinated, and I just want people to like me for me. Okay, next. What's a topic or part of your life that you think and reflect about the most? I think about, like, my relationships with significant others a lot, way too much, and I think I need to stop. I think I need to take a step back. Like, I've always had a partner or, like, somebody I'm talking to or, like, a side piece, whatever, like, guys, I'm a hoe, bitch, I'm a thought, give me lit, guys I'm talking to, and, like, they always, like, dominate some subsection of my consciousness, and, like, I think that, like, I need to be alone, because the last time I was alone when I had no social media was when I was, like, the lowest I was, so it's like, wow, why can't I handle being alone without a guy or, like, attention? And I struggled through that, and then came this. So, like, obviously pushing myself to be alone and pushing myself to figure out what I want brought me one of the most successful things that's happened in my life. And I need to not stop. I need to keep pushing myself to, like, be alone and, like, reflect on, like, myself and what I want and what I think is best. I didn't want to make any YouTube videos because everybody was telling me, you need intros, you need to edit, you need to do this, that, and the other thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking film a YouTube video on a fucking photo booth and answer questions in real time like this, because I truly don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what I feel is right. Will you adopt me? Yes. Yes. Period. Period. Do you change when you drink alcohol? I do sometimes, and I become mean towards people. I went through this phase where I would, like, actually get aggressive when I drink, and now I'm in this, like, crying phase where I drink and I cry. I think it's because, like, deep down, like, I'm sad a little bit. Like, I'm dealing with some things in my life that I'm sad about, and they're not fully resolved, so alcohol's bringing out the side of me. Sometimes I used to drink and get super horny. Obviously, I just needed the D, real fucking bad. So, like, I think that when you drink, it changes you, and it brings out things that you're trying to... What's the pressure to maintain a certain internet personality for fans really like? There's no pressure. I'm just myself. I feel for other people, though, that have pressure, because, like, wow. Imagine, like, your content not doing well and people not liking you for being yourself. That would suck. Hey, mommy, do you like honey mustard? Like, yeah, I love honey mustard with my Chick-fil-A nuggets, even though they are problematic as fuck. Chick-fil-A is problematic as fuck. I haven't had them in a long time. What was your child like? I was a problem child, for sure. For sure. I gave my parents hell. Fave celeb. You said fab celeb, but I assume you mean fave celeb. None. I hate this whole, like, idolizing and fangirl culture. I think that we're all equals, and I don't want to, like, look up to somebody else. Obviously, I respect other individuals, like Amal Clooney, and, like, people who are, like, advocating and whatever, but I don't really have one. I never really was into, like, fangirl culture or any of that shit. How many toes do you have? Prove it. 10 toes. Oh, that's a tattoo. 10 toes. 10 toes. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to start a new clip. I'm not going to edit any of this. At all. I'm just going to click on this one. Best part about living in the city, there's always something to do. You never get bored. How did you meet Suede? I slid into her DM. So she had been commenting on my post, and I saw that, so I followed her back. But then, like, her manager, like, reached out to me wanting to manage her, and I DM'd her, and I go, what's the tea with your manager? And she was like, oh, they're good. And then she was in New York, and I was like, oh, we should link. What do your parents do? My mom doesn't work. My dad owns his own business. My dad's owned his own business my whole life. And that's been one of the most stressful things on him, is owning his own business, but also one of the things that I look up to him most for. Seeing him work for himself is my whole life has been one of the hardest things for him, but one of the things I most deeply respect him for. And, like, I've always said, like, my dream job is to work for myself. How to have your mindset. I think that, like, don't ever try to adopt somebody else's mindset. Try to be the most optimal version of your current mindset. Like, you want to develop a mindset that's perfect for your situation, you know? You want to be constantly working towards that. So identify the things that you don't enjoy about your mindset and push for things that you think would make it better. Beep, beep, boop. Plans after college, bitch, I don't know. Ass or tits, I don't care either. What types of cardio do you do? I do every type of cardio. Favorite color, dildo. Bye. Favorite color, though, is like orange, green, pink, blue. What's the dumbest way you've been injured? Oh my god. When I was at camp, we were playing sharks and minnows, and we were running on this field, and it had rained like a few hours before, and I was wearing a pair of fucking Crocs with a bunch of gibbets in them, and I went flying because I slipped because I was running in Crocs and ripped my knee open on the fence, and I had this bubble on my knee for forever, and I had to get, like, plastic surgery on it to get the bubble taken off. But yeah, that was pretty dumb. Do you like your nose? Yeah, I like my nose. Whatever, it's a nose. It sniffs. What are you going to do for your birthday? I don't know. I think me and Suede might go on a trip. Not sure, though. Where do you hope that Tick-Tock takes you, / what would you like to do with your platform? I've said this in a few interviews now. All I want to do is do more good than bad, which means I'm going to make mistakes, which means I'm going to do bad things. Like, you know, like, I'm going to have to apologize eventually. I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, but I hope to do more good than bad. And where do I want it to take me? I want to be happy and healthy, and I want to be able to take care of my parents, pay off my loans, pay my rent. But if you actually had your own cult, what would you influence your members / followers to do? I was thinking about this the other day. This kid was asking me at the bar. He was like, what does your ideal day look like in this ideal made-up world? And I was, like, fucked up. And I was like, you know what? I wake up 6 a.m. I run 15 miles. I come home. I shower. I have, like, breakfast with my family. And we're in, like, this ranch-style house because my mom has, like, health issues, and, like, I want her to be in the most accessible environment possible, the most comfortable she can be for her situation. We have breakfast, and then I go and I instruct the cult from 9 to 5, and, like, the cult's a joke to me, you know, like, we're low-key, like, a sisterhood, you know, or, like, whatever, a group of people, a group of like-minded individuals, or individuals who want the same things. And inside of this instructing the cult, I wouldn't fixate myself above other people. We'd all be equals. Is, like, meetings on how, like, power poses. You start the day with power poses, and, like, I don't know, like, we read different texts. It's like going to college. Like, my ideal thing to do with the cult or influence people is, like, we would all be in this, like, university or compound where, like, we're, like, doing higher ed, and we're, like, constantly educating each other and, like, challenging new perspectives and, like, trying to be sustainable in different ways. And, like, I don't know, like, we're all just, like, becoming more empowered together. Like, we just have meetings all day and, like, cool classes, and we talk to cool speakers, and then we all, like, do some kind of health activity together, like, go outside, be in the sun, or plant and garden and, like, run, and, like, this is, like, a utopia for me. But, like, I've learned in a lot of classes that I've taken in college is that a utopia quickly becomes a dystopia. So I know that this ideal world, this ideal cult, or whatever the fuck, is never going to be achievable, but I can theorize. And I would love for all of us to be continuing our education, continuing our confidence, continuing our health, bettering the earth we live around, and being with our family, and being with our loved ones, and empowering each other. And then go to bed. go to bed early. Yeah. Workout routine, I posted it like a million times. Fashion inspo, none really. Like, whatever I see on the street that looks cool. Where are you from and why'd you move to New York City? I grew up in New Jersey for 10 years, in North Carolina for 8. I moved to New York City. I transferred here for college. I've been here for 3 years. Running tips. I've made you TikToks about this before. What was your high school experience about? What was your high school experience like? I don't remember if I answered this already or if I answered this in the video I deleted. It was bad. I got bullied a lot. I transferred high schools. I struggled. I felt like I never fit in. Felt like nobody liked me. I always felt different my whole life. Like, nobody, like, appreciated me. I still feel different, but I feel better about it now. Why did you choose the history major? I love history. I think it's great. But my parents also, I always wanted to, like, major in fashion or some shit like that. My parents were like, nobody's going to respect a fashion degree. They were like, get a concrete major, like, get a degree in a concrete major. And then you can do whatever you want after college. Like, we'll support you if you can get a job doing it. Not we'll support you. Like, we'll have faith in you if you can support yourself doing fashion after college. But, like, my parents, like, pay for my tuition partially, and then I take out loans. And they were like, if we're going to pay for it, it needs to be a concrete major. Like, everybody in my family's in finance. So, like, the most concrete thing that I was good at was, like, English or history. And I enjoy history, so I did history because I wanted to get good grades and school not be hard. And I can work. So history was, like, most compatible with that. This shit's cold, and I want to eat the rest of it. So I'm going to end this video now. I love you. I hope this was fun. I should do another video doing speed round questions. I want YouTube to be not that big of a deal and to be chill. I don't want any pressure about posting. I think we should all enjoy these apps, and I think that YouTube is scary for a lot of people, and a lot of people can't post on it. And TikTok's way more casual, so whatever. Fuck YouTube. Let's make it casual.